Roswell, New Mexico, July 1947. A quiet desert town about to become the center of the greatest UFO mystery in history. It began when rancher Mac Brazel discovered strange debris scattered across his property. Metallic sticks, odd foil-like material, and rubber-like scraps unlike anything he had ever seen before. Concerned, he gathered some of it and brought it to the sheriff's office. The sheriff didn't waste time. He contacted the Roswell Army Airfield, and that's where the story suddenly took a sharp turn. Within hours, military intelligence officers were combing the site, collecting every last scrap of debris. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Daily Record published a headline that stunned the world. RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. The United States military had just admitted to recovering a flying disc. That single headline set off a frenzy. The idea that a flying saucer had crashed on American soil was beyond belief in the late 1940s. But there it was, reported by the Associated Press, carried by newspapers across the country. Radio stations buzzed. Families sat glued to their sets. In that moment, Roswell wasn't just a small desert town. It was ground zero for the biggest story in human history. And yet, less than 24 hours later, everything changed. On July 9th, the very next day, the Army issued a statement. They claimed the wreckage wasn't from a flying saucer at all, but merely a weather balloon. The flying disc story evaporated overnight. To prove their point, the military staged photographs. Officers posed with what they described as balloon debris, thin foil, rubber, and wooden sticks. The most famous image is of Major Jesse Marcel, the intelligence officer originally tasked with handling the crash site. In the photograph, Marcel kneels beside the debris, holding up pieces of flimsy foil. The message was clear. See? Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing extraterrestrial here. But for many, that explanation didn't add up. Witnesses who saw the original wreckage insisted the material looked nothing like balloon parts. It was lightweight, nearly indestructible, and unlike anything they'd ever handled. So why the sudden reversal? Why go from flying saucer to weather balloon in less than a day? The answer may lie in control. 1947 was the dawn of the Cold War. America was testing rockets, high-altitude aircraft, and atomic weapons. The idea of a crashed craft, whether alien or advanced foreign technology, posed enormous risks. By pivoting the story to something harmless, the Army avoided mass panic and kept public attention at bay. But here's the problem. Once the genie was out of the bottle, it couldn't be put back. That first headline, RAAF captures flying saucer, was seared into memory. And for decades, people would come back to it, pointing at how strange it was that the military admitted to something extraordinary before walking it back. The cover-up, in other words, became as legendary as the crash itself. Over the years, Roswell grew into more than just a news story. Eyewitnesses claimed they had seen more than scraps of foil. Rumors spread of bodies being recovered, of wreckage hauled away under tight security, and of hangars filled with secrets locked away from the public. But it all starts here, with a crash in the desert, a headline declaring a flying saucer, and a hasty cover-up that left more questions than answers. Roswell is the spark that lit the UFO age, and this was only the beginning. Stay tuned because in the next part of our Roswell series, we'll dig deeper into the eyewitness accounts, the testimonies, and the claims that something far stranger than a weather balloon came down in the desert of New Mexico. You've been watching Joshua Tree Encounters, where the desert holds its secrets and we bring them to light.